In the peaceful village of Aganiko, people lived simple lives. Surrounded by thick forests and flowing rivers, they followed the rules passed down by their ancestors. The most important rule was clear: do not seek riches through evil or unnatural ways. It was said that anyone who broke this rule would bring a curse upon themselves and the whole village. Some villagers didn't listen. At night, a few would sneak into the forest to perform forbidden rituals, hoping to gain wealth. They sometimes returned with gold or charms, but their happiness didn't last. Strange misfortunes followed: their crops failed, their animals died, and soon, they lost everything. Among the villagers was Obi, a poor farmer who lived alone in a small hut. Though he didn't have much, Obi was hardworking and honest. His late mother had taught him to always be kind and truthful. Before she died, she gave him a special amulet made of ivory. "Keep this close to you, my son," she had said. "It will protect you." Obi wore the amulet every day, even when villagers mocked him for his poverty. No matter how hard life was, he refused to break the rules or look for easy riches in the forest. One evening, Obi went to the forest to gather firewood. The moon was bright, and the forest was filled with the sounds of crickets and rustling leaves. As he walked, he saw a beautiful woman standing by the path. She had glowing skin, silky hair, and a warm smile. She introduced herself as Adaora. "I've lost my way," she said sweetly. "Can you help me?" Obi hesitated. It was strange to find someone like her alone in the forest at night. Still, he decided to help. "This path leads to the village," he said. "I can walk with you." As they walked, Adaora began to talk about treasures hidden deep in the forest. She told Obi she could make him the richest man in Aganiko if he followed her. For a moment, Obi was tempted. Life would be easier if he had money. But as he looked into her eyes, he noticed something strange: her pupils were narrow, like a snake's. Obi gripped his amulet tightly and prayed silently. Suddenly, Adaora's warm smile turned into an evil sneer. Her legs fused together, and her skin turned scaly. In moments, she had transformed into a giant snake. She hissed and lunged at Obi, but an invisible force stopped her. Furious, she slithered away, shouting, "You will regret this, Obi." "I will not forget." When Obi returned to the village, he told the elders about Adaora. Some believed him, but others didn't. Soon, the story spread, and many began to envy him. They wondered why Obi seemed protected from harm while others suffered. Four villagers, driven by jealousy, decided to harm Obi. One, Ease, a rich trader, invited Obi to a feast. He secretly poisoned Obi's food, but when Obi ate, the poison turned into water. Shocked, Ease fled the village the next day. 2. Chitty, a hunter, set a trap in the forest. He dug a deep pit and covered it with leaves, hoping Obi would fall in. But as Obi approached, a strong wind blew the leaves away, revealing the trap. Chitty accidentally fell into the pit himself. 3. Amaka, a widow, falsely accused Obi of stealing her goat. She brought the case to the elders, but just as they were about to punish Obi, the missing goat wandered into the village square. Ashamed, Amaka apologized. 4. Nady, a jealous farmer, attacked Obi at night with a dagger. But when he struck, the blade shattered like glass. Terrified, Nady ran away and never returned. While the villagers plotted against Obi, Adaora returned in secret. This time, she targeted the palace. Disguised as a beautiful woman, she charmed the king, Iguiuma, and his 3 sons. The royal family welcomed her, unaware of her true nature. Each night, Adaora cast spells on them, draining their strength. One by one, the king and his sons grew weaker and died. With the royal family gone, the village fell into chaos. People argued over who should rule. The elders, desperate for peace, prayed under the sacred Irako tree. The gods gave them a message. Choose Obi, the virtuous one, to lead your people. When the elders told the villagers, many were angry. Why should a farmer become king? They argued. But the elders stood firm. The gods have spoken. Obi is the only one who can save us. At first, Obi refused. I am not worthy, he said. And I am not married. A king must have a queen. But the elders insisted. Your heart is pure, and the gods will guide you. After much thought, Obi agreed. The day of his coronation, a strong wind blew through the village, shaking the sacred Irako tree. Its leaves glowed faintly, and the villagers saw it as a sign of the gods' blessing. As king, Obi worked hard to restore order in Aganiko. He visited the farms, listened to the villagers, and solved disputes fairly. Slowly, the village began to heal. But Adaora was not done. Furious that Obi had become king, she planned one final attack. One night, the gods sent Obi a vision. In his dream, he saw the Irako tree glowing brightly. Beneath it, a golden staff was buried. This staff is your weapon, the god said. It will destroy Adaora. But beware, she will not give up without a fight. The next day, Obi led the villagers to the tree. They dug for hours until they found the staff. It shone brightly, with carvings of flames and snakes. That evening, a terrible storm rolled in. The skies turned dark, and a loud hiss echoed through the village. She's here, Obi said, gripping the staff. Adaora emerged from the forest, her serpent form larger and more terrifying than before. Her eyes burned with hatred. You think you can stop me? She hissed. I will destroy you and your village. She lunged at Obi, but he raised the golden staff. A bright light shot out, hitting Adaora. She screamed and thrashed, her body twisting in pain. This is for Aganiko. Obi shouted. The light grew stronger, and Adaora crumbled into ash. The storm cleared, and the villagers cheered. With Adaora gone, peace returned to Aganiko. Obi ruled wisely, ensuring no one went hungry and that all disputes were settled fairly. One day, during a festival, Obi met Nkem, a humble and honest woman. They became friends, and over time, their friendship grew into love. The villagers celebrated when Obi married Nkem, and she became their queen. Together, Obi and Nkem led Aganiko into a golden age.